He didn't scream. He didn't beg. He didn't confront her or the guy she cheated with. Instead, on a quiet Friday night, he walked up to a stranger's car, hung one single item on the door handle, and walked away. By Monday morning, a relationship was destroyed, a cheater was exposed, and karma had done its job better than any confrontation ever could. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever been underestimated, or if you've ever fantasized about the perfect, clean, no fingerprints revenge, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in, because this is one of the most quietly devastating revenge stories you'll hear today. This story didn't start with revenge. It started with trust. My friend, let's call him Jake, had been dating his girlfriend for a long time. Long enough that routines had formed. Long enough that the relationship felt safe, comfortable, predictable. Too predictable. He trusted her completely, which in hindsight is exactly why it hurt so badly when the cracks started showing. She'd been acting different, guarding her phone, working later than usual, smiling at texts she wouldn't explain. You know the feeling, the one where your stomach tightens before your brain catches up, where something feels off but you don't want to accuse someone you love without proof. Jake ignored it at first, told himself he was overthinking, that relationships go through phases. Until one night, the truth hit him. She didn't confess out of guilt. She slipped up out of carelessness. A coworker, someone she barely talked to, someone Jake was crazy for worrying about. Except she'd been seeing him behind Jake's back. When she finally admitted it, it wasn't dramatic. No tears, no real remorse. Just excuses, shrugs, a tone that said, "It happened, deal with it." And that tone, that casual dismissal, hurt worse than the cheating itself. Jake told me later that moment when something inside him went quiet. Not angry, not loud, just cold. He didn't yell, didn't throw things, didn't storm out. He just listened. And when she finished explaining why it wasn't that big of a deal, he nodded slowly and said nothing. That scared her more than any outburst ever could. Over the next few days, Jake learned everything he needed to know. The guy's name, where he worked, where he lived. Not out of obsession, not out of rage, out of curiosity. Jake didn't want to confront the guy. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want drama. He wanted clarity. Because here's the thing about cheaters. They rely on secrecy. They rely on lies overlapping just enough to stay hidden. Jake's plan was to introduce one tiny inconsistency, one undeniable question mark. Friday night came. The city was quiet, streets empty in that late night way where everything feels suspended. Jake parked down the block from the guy's apartment building. He got out of the car and opened his trunk. Inside was a small paper bag. Inside that bag, a pair of women's panties. Not his girlfriend's, just generic, innocent looking, plausible. He walked up to the guy's car, looked around. No witnesses, no cameras close enough to matter. And then, very carefully, he looped the panties over the passenger side door handle. Not shoved inside, not hidden, visible, obvious, impossible to ignore. Then he walked away. No note, no message, no explanation, just chaos waiting to happen. Jake told me later his hands didn't shake, his heart wasn't racing. He felt calm, because at that point, the outcome didn't matter anymore. Saturday came, and just like Jake suspected, she went to see him. She saw the car first, and then she saw that. Jake wasn't there, but he later heard exactly how it went down. She froze, stared at the panties like they were radioactive. Her mind raced. Who do these belong to? When were they here? Why are they on the passenger side? She didn't laugh it off, didn't rationalize. She exploded. She accused him immediately, demanded explanations he didn't have, refused to believe any answer she gave, because no explanation sounded believable. And suddenly the girl who'd been juggling two relationships couldn't handle the idea that she might not be the only one. The irony was brutal. They argued in the parking lot, voices raised, accusations flying, people staring. By the end of it, she broke up with him on the spot, stormed off, humiliated, furious, shaken. And Jake? Jake stayed home, waiting. It didn't take long. The aftermath hit her like a truck. The coworker relationship, gone. Her sense of control, gone. The fantasy she'd been living, shattered. Because suddenly she wasn't the one choosing. She was the one being replaced.
and that realization aided her. Days later, Jake's phone lit up. Then again. Then again. Texts turned into calls. Calls turned into apologies. She cried. She begged. She blamed stress, confusion, a mistake. She wanted back what she'd casually thrown away. Jake listened. And for the first time since the betrayal, he smiled. Because here's the truth. He didn't need revenge to hurt her. He needed truth to catch up with her. And it did. She came crawling back, emotionally racked by the same insecurity she'd inflicted on him. Jake never told her what he did, never admitted it. He didn't need the credit. The damage was already done. The beauty of Jake's revenge wasn't cruelty. It was precision. No yelling, no threats, no permanent harm. Just one quiet action that let her own behavior collapse in on itself. The moment she realized she wasn't special, that she wasn't the only one, that she could be lied to just as easily as she lied. That was the punishment. And Jake? He got closure without ever raising his voice. Sometimes karma doesn't need fists or fireworks. Sometimes it just needs one small nudge, and the truth does the rest. Betrayal has a way of exposing itself, especially when someone thinks they're untouchable. If this story gave you that quiet, satisfied chill, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what's the most subtle revenge you've ever seen actually work? And don't worry, we've got plenty more stories where karma never misses.